Alrighty. Five, four, three,
3, 2.
God damn it, Chip.
I love you guys.
2, 1. Record.
Hello, everybody. This is Dodic, and this is episode 7 of We Suck at Dota. This week's hero of the week is going to be Sven, and our discussion of the week is going to be what you should be doing when you feel like there's nothing to do as support. This discussion of the week is brought to you by P-Frog. We talked about it very, very briefly last week. He had submitted this on our Steam community page. Thank you very much for the request and the kind words, and we do hope you continue listening, even though we probably don't have an idea what we're talking about, and we might be completely wrong. Thank you for the suggestion, and we'll do our best. Joining us this week is our usual crew, except for Chris, of course. Apparently he's in class until 1 a.m. So shame on you, Chris, again. I don't know what's going on with him, but we got to rein him in. He's getting out of control.
I know all this schooling.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? What is more important, Dota or school? Get your freaking shit straight. Is P-Jims, Leeskis, and White Chip. They're all joining us tonight. How is everyone doing?
I'm doing
Good,
better
and
now
you?
that my shit's going right.
Yes.
My headphones just died, but how are you doing?
Oh, God. We are never.
That's good.
Oh, Lord.
No, it's working now. I
Okay.
have to charge it.
Yeah, so we plan to start these at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're on the stream, you saw we'd be starting any minute, but it is now 9:40 p.m. Eastern time, and we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we'll start at 9 o'clock after we solve all these technical issues.
God, if I
Yeah.
can help it.
I think
Computer
it's-
technicians do have issues, okay? So don't think
It
that's all
exists.
fucking
Yep.
peaches and rainbows here.
Peaches and cream and rainbows. So, I guess we'll just start right off with our next part, which we're doing now is the Weekly Hero Challenge. So, this week it was Anti-Mage, and Leeskis actually beat it. I think last week we talked about Sven very briefly, but Leeskis beat Anti-Mage this week. I'm going to pull up the Dota buff right now, but if you want to talk very briefly about the game, I don't remember if I was in this game with you guys. I don't think I was again. No, I
I
wasn't.
think you were.
I got off that night. That was right. You guys wanted me to play, but I didn't.
Oh yeah, that's right. We played with Big D and Little D.
Yep.
No idea who they are, but they brought the D to the game, which was good.
That's right. He was the one. The big D was the Phantom Assassin.
Yeah, he did pretty good. So yeah, I played Anti-Mage. It took me 3 tries to successfully beat him. Average is like 2.7 roughly. And so I feel a little bit better now that he's over and done with. The difficulty, if I was going to scale it on like a 1 to 5, like 1 being easy, 5 being hard, I'd say he's like a 4 because he does have some intermediate skill level just because he's got really low HP, kind of like squishiness.
Yeah.
And he requires so much farm before he becomes effective because
Yeah.
I felt like I just stayed in the jungle for like ever, but I did come out a little bit and help on some ganks, and then I just went immediately back to farming again until I could get my Blade Fury.
Battle Fury.
Battle Fury, sorry, wow. I just went into like a WoW term, I think.
Yep.
Yes, you did. Rogue,
Yep.
right?
Yep, that would be the rogueness.
Yeah, I think he's
I know
considered
What do I
a
know about that?
rogues. I think he's considered a hard carry. So yeah, it's very common. Pretty much is your job is just to get farm, and then eventually you'll get to the point where you can actually do some decent damage.
Yeah, it wasn't bad though. By the end of the game, I was pretty farmed up. I had Butterfly, Mantis Style, I think I had Vlads too. I ended up just buying Boots of Travel because by the end of the game I had so much farm. I just wanted to be in the fights at that point.
Yeah, definitely. And I haven't got him for my challenge yet, but it's gonna suck when I do. Ugh.
Yeah, most
No,
of the
I
challenges suck.
I've seen you played him a couple of times.
On Anti-Mage?
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've
you
played
did
him,
pretty
but-
good.
Back in the day.
Yeah, but that was when I was trying to be a carry, and it just does not work. I'm not good at that.
Well, you've got your TA down pretty
Yeah, TA.
But she's not a carry though. She's just like a ganker that I
Alright,
don't play
you qual-
properly according to Chip. So whatever, Chip. If you don't see it, I'm
Whatever,
flipping
she's
you
doing
off
the
on camera
job.
right now. See it? Oh, there you go. That's just
Oh
for you.
God! Wow, big finger.
You know what that means?
Yep.
Big
Big
microphone.
thumbs.
Okay.
Uh,
So you went 14-14, it looks like. So that's not too bad. Not too great, but not too bad. You didn't go negative. And
Yeah,
24
that
assists, though.
1-1.
A lot. That's a fucking lot of
Yeah,
assists.
that was the blinking. I definitely did assist quite a bit on that because Phantom Assassin did most of the actual killing.
Oh my
I
god.
did most of the assisting.
Yeah, she was crazy.
Like, she was wrecking, like, the whole team.
Yeah, it was great.
We all die, and she's left, and she just murders the whole team. So funny.
Mhm.
They did all have MKBs though. Well, two of them did. It looks like Drow Ranger and Wind Ranger, which you gotta be careful because they can just do a shit ton of damage. They're both range
Yep.
and
fast.
and they have silences, and I don't think silences affect her her passive thing that makes her unhittable, but the MKB certainly does. So
Yeah, but shout out to Big D. Thank you for carrying us through that game and getting my challenge done. So if you're out there listening, I
Big
doubt it.
D.
Big D.
Thanks, Big D and Little D. You,
I have
you've
I have a
assisted well.
feeling that was a father and son. I don't know why.
Oh, that'd
but
be so cute.
It seemed that way.
Thanks, Dad. What do you think? Big D is the son, and then Little D is
Nah.
the dad.
Hell no, Dad is Big D.
I don't know.
God, big dick.
Because if I had a kid, I'd be like, nope, you're gonna be Little D, and I'm gonna be Big D.
Big
Sorry.
D nigga.
You
But
slap him.
Vengeful Spirit and Phantom Assassin made a good team.
Yeah, they
honestly.
should. Vengeful Spirit can do that little swap combo
That
thing, and then
flip, yep, the
Mhm.
switch.
Yeah, between
But
the,
P also
the
has a
switch and the
blink, too.
slow.
well, I don't know if it's
Yeah.
considered a blink, but whatever it's called, she can like teleport to
Jump.
them.
Yeah. And then slow them down with that little flying pistol. What is it?
Pretty sure it's a dagger.
That dagger, yeah.
Pistol.
just edit that part out, thank you.
There's no editing.
Fuck.
No editing.
No Eddie.
All live.
All live. Everything's live. So did you enjoy him though? I mean, you don't play carry too much. A lot of times you're our support, either healer or our support, and you don't get to play hard carry much.
Pretty much, would you play him again?
We don't trust.
Fundamentally.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust me being the carry as anti-mage.
Yeah.
I would definitely request somebody else being more of the hard carry, but
Mhm.
I would not mind playing him again. I actually understand him now, and as hard as it is as a carry to not want to go in and just start wrecking people, you really have to stay in the jungle,
Yeah.
discipline yourself, get that farm, because if you don't, you're going to regret it by end game.
And I'll yell at you.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Chip is an excellent coach.
He is an
by
excellent
the way.
coach. He's very rough.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
know what, Chip? I'm sick of your crap.
You know, it is true though, because he bitched at me for doing mid, and what happened? What did I go that game? Fucking 20 whatever and 4.
29?
Something kind of crazy for my kind of game. And just to prove him wrong, so it made me better because I didn't want to listen to his shit. So
yeah,
All as
same-
planned.
I try
Same
to
with
do the
me.
same thing, but it doesn't work.
yeah. He was bitching at me for missing a lot of those last hits, so I really started to focus in and concentrate on getting last hits, just so I didn't have to hear him bitch anymore.
yeah,
It was great.
because you hear him now, you wait till you're in game. Oh, that's terrible.
Tiger face.
And that's why we're gonna
My-
stream it
My
Exactly.
voice is like heaven.
on hell.
Highway to hell. Okay. I don't know if we want to go over anything else for that. I think that's probably it.
No, that's about it.
Yeah.
Enjoyability, yeah, I'd give him a thumbs up if you are willing to discipline yourself. If you're new at the game, I do not recommend
No.
going on him.
Yeah, definitely not. This is somebody who's got a decent skill. I mean, carries can be easier than a lot of other heroes because all you have to do is concentrate on last hits and ganks, or getting the kills. But that also makes it harder too. You have to, like me personally, like I always said, I'm not good at initiating. I'm not good at leading it off or seeing the good opportunities to do that. So it can be tough sometimes being a carry because you do have to find those opportunities and make sure you capitalize on them.
The thing that really helped me the most on that is his blink ability, because
yeah.
that got me out of a lot of shitty situations.
You were going against let's see, there wasn't a lot of heavy mana on the other team, like big mana heroes. I mean,
No, but the ones that did use mana were pretty dependent on it. Like, if Dro wanted to use her silence or anything, or her frost arrows,
Yeah.
she couldn't essentially.
you could
Plus,
shut down
around-
Centaur pretty hard too because he uses like half his mana for like his stomp. So you take it out and he's not going to be able to do a lot of his regular shit.
Yeah, plus when I blinked in on Dro, because when you're close to Dro, she loses her ultimate
Yep.
passive, which gives her all that extra agility. So I blink in on her and I just started I felt like Riki almost just stabbing her to death.
Stab, stab, stab.
Stabby, stabby, stabby.
Okay. So that was this week's Weekly Hero Challenge. Hopefully, because we're so good at this game, we'll always have somebody to go over that we win. We can hope.
Yeah, right.
I still have
If
Juggernaut.
we win for that week.
I have not played anyone besides Queen of Pain and Templars for like 2 weeks now. So I still don't plan on playing Juggernaut.
Juggernaut.
We'll get
Dude,
you on him.
He's like the easiest
I
character.
know, but I just don't want to
Dude,
play
he's
him.
Easy.
I just like Templar and Queen of Pain. That's it. I
He
got to get
does-
really good at him.
He like starts on a hill and he just rolls down.
Rolls. I want to do
Roll.
Troll Warlord too, because he seems really OP every time I go against him.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
I have
noticed that too.
70 heroes done so far.
70?
Yeah, about that.
Damn. I have like 12, I think.
I've been going nuts.
Why aren't you good at any though?
Wow.
No, I'm not even mad. It's true. Because I don't.
Jack of all
practice with
trades,
anyone.
master of
I'm
none.
just like, oh, let's see. All right.
Look at that game, 4-17.
When I finish all the challenges, then I'll stick to like the same.
Well, that's how I
character,
found
and then I'll
Templar,
be
though.
good.
I found, like, I had to do it for a hero challenge. I played, like, 8 games before I won with her. But then after 8 games, I started getting decent with her. And now I actually like playing her a lot. Because it's just, you gotta get used to
I'm
them.
still unsure of who's the one. you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
He's
You
still
gotta find the
searching for
one.
that perfect soulmate.
Searching.
That soulmate.
Searching.
Chip has Lena, you know. That's his
Exactly.
soulmate.
It's Wind.
A Wind Ranger
Every
now.
week I have like a
Yeah.
new soulmate. I think. Like Phantom.
You're so fickle.
Assassin, Phantom Lancer,
Hmm.
Life Stealer, Viper. I don't know what else that
Sven.
I played. Sven for a while. I was like, I fucking love Sven. After a week, I don't really play him.
Death Prophet.
Death Prophet. Oh, I love Death Prophet. She's one
Yeah,
of my
but that
favorites.
that last game didn't really go so well with that.
No,
Death
No.
Prophet.
that was terrible.
I know.
Freaking PJ.
It's alright though.
Did I mess up?
Yeah, you fucked up, Chip, real bad. So before we go on a tangent here, we're gonna go go to part 3 because we don't want to make these 3 hours long. We're gonna go to the hero of the week this week. This
Yes.
week, as we said, is Sven. Probably the person who has the most. Oh shit! I just deleted something. Who has the most experience with Sven is PJ, and we talked about him very briefly
Oh,
last
yeah.
week for the weekly hero challenge. So he is, just really quick, a disabler, initiator, carry, support. So he's a lot. He's got a lot going on. And usually you're playing,
Yes.
you need like the stun. That's really, he's really important with the stun, and he has like a built-in cleave, which is awesome. And then he goes red, which is also cool.
Yeah. So I don't want to see any of you people just be in the jungle if you're Sven, because we need your stun. Because remember
Yeah.
last time this dude picked
Oh my
Sven
God.
and he was just in the jungle the whole time. He bought like 3 hearts and
Yeah, but did we end up winning that
Yeah.
game at the end?
Oh yeah, but
After
I
like
don't know. For a
78
lot of the
minutes or
team
something
fights-
retarded.
Yeah, that could have ended in 40 minutes. So
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
he felt the need to get 3 hearts. We don't know why.
Oh yeah,
Don't
he
know
was building
why.
hearts like all
Maybe
day.
Anybody can let us know why that's so important, but I don't see any need in that. Too much health.
Well, and we'll go over his item builds and see. I think
Yeah.
a heart is probably a good item, just not 3, just not 3 of
Just
them.
not. Yeah, that's excessive.
But at that point, I mean, he was getting them because he was trying to be tanky so that we could win the team fights, because that game was
Yeah.
really close. I can't believe we won that game.
Yeah, I know that was a godsend. But 40 minutes, that should be the tops.
Yeah.
Not 80 minutes. Oh my fucking god.
So, Sven, the Rogue Knight, is a versatile melee strength hero with superior physical power, yet is coupled with various abilities that provide various utility. That is the most generic description I've ever heard.
Yeah, in other words, he can go both ways.
Yeah, he's
Uh,
and his lore is actually pretty interesting too. It's a bit
Don't
lengthy. I'm not reading
read
it
it.
now. I'm not reading it now, but it actually
Don't
is pretty
spoil it.
interesting. So as I said, he's a disabler, initiator, carry, support, and of course that is just dependent on his abilities, which we'll go over right now really quick. I'm going to read the first one, and then if you guys want to read second, third, fourth, which works out well every week, thank you for not being here, Chris. It's making this very easy for me. So his first ability is called Stormhammer. It's a target unit ability. It affects enemies, and the damage type is magical. Sven unleashes his magical gauntlet that deals damage and stuns enemy units. This is the thing that's like an AoE stun. So if you put this in a group of people, it has a 255 range around that person that gets hit by it. That will also stun them for for 2 seconds. So that's actually pretty decent stun as well
And
as
hence
just a quick
why
damage.
that's why it's really important for team fights.
Yeah, exactly. He's good for initiating that, especially if you
Oh
get
yeah.
well, we'll talk about the items later. So that's just right off the bat. His Q is just a 2-second stun, which is always nice with the AOE effect. And if someone wants to read his second one or his W,
I'll take it. I'll take second ability is Great Cleave, and Sven strikes with great force, cleaving all nearby enemy units with his attacks. The cleave radius is 300, and the damage is 20% all the way up to 65% by level 4. The cleave damage, it's really good. It's something you don't want to level too quickly because you'll push the
Yes.
lane too fast, but it is great once you start getting rolling into the mid and late game.
yeah, because you can push like crazy with that.
It's wonderful. You should yeah, always use it.
Pick up at least
And
one
if-
level this early on if you can.
At
Probably.
the same time,
Yes.
if you don't level this up, as soon as possible, people will get very angry with you.
They will literally tell you to kill yourself because we had
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
happen.
Wait, what?
I was just naive and shit. So
We were playing the game and like a guy, he's like so mad that PJ didn't level it, and he was just like, he literally said just like kill
as soon as
yourself.
possible. Yeah, but pretty
Nice
much.
Yeah, that's the
Let it not be the first thing you buy, but not the last. So
Yeah,
I learned
yeah.
that the hard way. Yeah.
just to appease anybody you might be playing with. Put 1 point in it before level 6, and you should be good.
Yeah, at least.
It's all about those passives.
Yep.
We'll find out in episode 13 how important they are.
Oh my god.
So-
Episode 13 better be good.
War
Yeah, no
Cry.
kidding.
I'll kill you.
Sven's third ability. Sven's War Cry heartens his allies for battle, increasing their movement speed and armor. Lasts 8 seconds. The radius is 900, and move speed bonus is 12%. Armor bonus 4, 8, 12, 16, and buff duration 8.
So this is actually nice for you. Pretty much you stun
This
first,
is a
you
good
go in,
initiation, honestly. Yup.
yeah, and then you buff everybody around you, which is awesome.
Exactly.
They move so fast.
Yep.
That's pretty low mana cost too. 25.
Yeah, 25 is really low. I mean, he's a
But
what?
many people don't find
Strength.
this necessary level right away, honestly.
No,
It
because
should
if
be
you
one
do
of the
it-
last thing you level.
This is going to be something for team fights, really.
Yeah, because
To get
honestly, items will be a lot, more
Ver-
beneficial.
This would
rather
be
than this.
very
To escape, you're saying.
escape. Yeah, like in early levels.
It's 12% though. It's not
It
going
did
to.
save my ass a couple of times. So.
It gives you
But
armor though.
Oh, that's
so-
true. Yeah. Very
not
true.
the most important, but it should be there.
We'll
Yep.
talk about his ability builds and
Yeah.
because there's a couple things you do. Sometimes it's just these skills are just with it, just to get 1 point in it, just to have it, and you don't have to necessarily level up to a little bit later because probably your Q you should be maxing, I'm guessing, and then your ultimate's also important as well. And we'll go over the ultimate right now, Chip, if you want to read that one.
Oh, right now?
Yes.
This second?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You can do it now. Go ahead.
20
It's
minutes
okay,
from
little
now.
buddy.
Okay, his what is it? His ultimate is God's Strength. It Sven channels his rogue strength, granting bonus damage for 25 seconds, and he turns red, right?
Yeah, he turns red.
Red
Kinda
Rocket.
awesome.
Oh
Red
yeah,
Rocket.
the Red Rocket.
Oh
like-
my
what
God.
would like to say?
Red Rocket, Red Rocket.
The damage starts at 100%, 150%, and 200%.
And this is also buffed to your allies as well.
Only if you
If-
have the scepter.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Yeah, it says
that's what that little
X.
star
Yes.
means.
Is this stun?
Ag scepter.
Oh, I see it. Okay, yep.
So get your
Uh,
ags.
So if you get your ags, it's the radius is 900.
Which is actually
And,
pretty damn good.
Allies attack bonus damage is 50%, 75, and 100% at the last stage.
That's really good.
It lasts 25 seconds, and mana cost isn't like that big.
200. I mean, he's a strength hero, so that may be a problem. So you might want to someone in game
Are
that
you
has some
saying
kind of
I'm
mana
lying
boost.
to them?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you're
Wow.
200 is kind of a lot of mana for a strength hero. But you're not. It's on a what cooldown? It's an 80-second cooldown, so you probably should be fine by that point.
But Sven always has mana issues, so
Yeah,
I
it's
would
just-
build up some mana.
Build us some
Good
mana, or
mana
have
pool.
like a Crystal Maiden on your team, or a Coddle,
Ags.
or something,
Yeah,
or
your Ags.
or just Ags, because that gives you some int and stuff, so you'll get higher higher intellect gain, whatever they call it in this game. Mana
Pool. Mana regen. Oh.
So that's his basic moves there. He only has 4. One of them's a passive, the Great Cleave.
Isn't that like all the characters though?
No, there's some that have like 5 and 6 depending.
Oh wow.
Like Treant
Yeah.
technically has like 6 because like after you get his Ags, you get like another ability to like do things like little stuff like that. But
Yeah, same with
So-
Coddle.
So those 2 heroes.
no, there's plenty of other ones. I played quite a few. Like Templar has like 5.
Shadow Fiend
3, 4,
or Doom. I forget which one.
5.
Yeah, Doom has like
Rubik.
6 or something retarded.
How many
You
heroes are
can
there?
go Invoker, and there's like 6.
Yeah, Chip.
Invoker's gonna be a long ass episode.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to do just him, and that's it. Not talk about anything else.
just we're like, yep, we don't know how to play this guy, so
it's not
7-part
that
fend for
bad.
episode.
yourselves.
7-part episode. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's his basic moves. You can get by just his moves right off the bat, kind of probably a basic kind of gameplay thing. But we'll go to his items, so that way we can tell which ones you should be building, and then we'll talk about how to kind of play them, general what you would do. So we're gonna split it into the 4 separate sections here: starting items, early game, core items, and situational, just like they do on the Steam guides, because that's pretty much what we're looking at here anyway. So first of all, what lane do you usually put Sven in? I don't even know actually. Probably the off lane, or I mean, he can be.
That's what I usually did. I didn't have too much problems there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put him in mid. That's
No.
just me, but
No melee's mid really. There's very few
I
melee
would-
mid heroes.
Yeah, of course. But as far as which lane, I would put him in the hard lane, if
Yep.
anything.
Because you want to get
Yeah.
the safe lane hard carry there, because he's not really a hard carry. I mean, you can, but he's not the best for it.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter which lane you put him in, as long
Yeah.
as you put him with a ranged support.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
really what's going to make the difference.
Yeah, and whoever he's with doesn't really have to be beefed up or anything because, he will, feed off of him anyway.
Yep.
He'll give him the extra aura, so no need. So a good
Raw.
support would be
Aura.
good.
So your starting
Aw.
items, probably basic. Most heroes will have this going to lane. Tango, Salve, him
And
a
that's it?
clarity. No, him. I would
Okay.
get a clarity on because he is going to have mana problems. Looks like gauntlets of strength and a circlet
Just
as
the
well,
beginning.
which builds into a bracer. I believe the circlet does.
Yes, it does.
They have magic stick here for early game. We
No, they
know
don't.
how Chip feels
have
about this.
They have nothing at all.
So, but it says to build an early bracer and get your brown boots as soon as possible. And what does the bracer do? It just gives him more strength, I believe, right? So he just does more damage with that.
Mhm.
Checks
Mhm.
It does build into what was it, the drum of endurance?
Just a stat increase.
Drum of endurance, yeah, which is really good because he already has like really fast attack speed with his ultimate, and then you add a drum on top of that.
And does that
You
stack
pretty
with
much
his
want to keep
movement
drum
speed?
of endurance until you can get something better.
I'm pretty sure it attacks with his movement speed buff too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, core items. It looks like power tread. Did you guys agree with that for the boots? Probably. I think that makes the most sense on him.
Yes and no. It depends if you have any other supports that'll be able to produce mana. If you're very mana dependent, like you have a lot of heroes that are going to need extra mana, some builds do recommend going with the mana boots, the arcane boots.
I can see that.
Or even boots of travel, I would recommend as well. So you can be at the team
No.
fights as fast as
Not-
possible.
Not early.
No.
No, not early. I'm saying like really end game. If you
Yeah.
really need.
Or
to
you
be
pick
there.
up boots of travel end game, like when you just have 2,000 gold,
Yeah.
you need to get to the other side of the map really fast. Like if you should already be winning by that point, usually. And
Honestly, attack speed is a must.
yeah, exactly. And that's why.
Because he does hit way too slow, so I'd beef that up.
Well, I mean, you don't have to necessarily get the items. I mean, the Drum of Endurance does that a little bit, and then it looks like you would get some Assault Cuirass too, so you need that attack speed. What's nice is his buffs, and then every attack speed thing you get is compounded on top of that, which is awesome.
I can see that.
So it says Power Treads, or I think Mana Boots would make sense too, because of his mana problems. BKB, TP Scrolls, obviously. A blink dagger, I think, is a really great idea on him because you can blink in, use your Q, and stun. Because it doesn't have to. You don't have to be at a range to do it. You can be really close, and if you just happen to go right into a group of them, you're gonna stun all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You get your team in there. You do your buff. You do your buff on yourself, and you guys are good to go. And if you have any points in that cleave, you're hitting them all at the same fucking time anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And that's if you want to be an initiator. I would get the blink dagger. Some don't. So.
Yeah, it depends, of course, on the build. This is, I think, probably the most common way to play him. Yeah.
I like building blink.
I don't know. I think it's situational.
It is, of course, yeah.
Just because of the fact that the stun does have a little bit of a range on it.
Yeah.
It's like a little missile.
What I like to do is honestly build blink because like you can hide in the trees and like it's so much better than like running up to them. They have time to react. You blink on them, stun them.
Because the problem we found with PJ,
you can probably kill them off. Like and that's perfect game.
Yeah, because I think it's almost needed if you're going to be initiator. Because the problem we had was PJ will go in. Now, the stun is only 2 seconds at all levels. By the time that projectile hits them and waits the 2 seconds, we're still running up on the team. So they're only going to be stunned for a second maybe by the time everyone actually gets there and, goes on them. The blink will help that a little bit. I mean, it's still only a 2 second stun. It's not the best. But it's also a nuke, too.
You build a blink dagger. You build a blink dagger.
I'm seeing more and more characters just build BKB and blink dagger.
Well, the thing is
the core.
They recently did that because it used to not. Yeah. It used to have a mana cost. It doesn't anymore. So now a lot more characters can use it.
That.
There's no more mana cost for that. That was actually recently too. The last couple patches.
All that mana save.
Yeah, because it buffs any strength heroes that are good initiators, like Centaur Warrunner. That's like technically a buff to him because he always had mana problems. And when you add that blink dagger in there, and then it doesn't cost you 75 or whatever amount of mana that it used to cost, that gives you more. That might give you one more spell that you can cast. So that's really good on strength heroes.
I concur.
All right, so other than that, that was his basic core items. It looks like it also says build a heart on him, which I totally agree with eventually. Mask of Madness, or 3. A Mask of Madness is good because, again, you're getting even more attack speed. So you're just going to be, like, hitting super fast. Like, you're going to, once you get your items and you get built up, I mean, you're hitting like crazy. You have your cleave going, so you're hitting all the enemies around, too. If you somehow, well, actually, I don't know, would it work with Chronosphere? Probably not. Because if you go near them, you're gonna get stunned too in the purple dome.
I'm not sure actually.
Sure you would. And then Daedalus and Ags as well. I mean, you're not gonna build all those items every game, obviously. The situational ones, you can I would probably go like most common Blink Dagger, Assault Cuirass, and probably just go right for Ags. So you get that attack speed, and then you also get the buff of the allies around you, which would be really nice. And you generally just want to buff your real hard carry in the game if you have, like, say, a Phantom Assassin or somebody like that, so that Windrunner actually, because she got her buff. I actually had to look that up to see why she got so buffed. Is because they changed something with her ultimate.
Did they?
Yeah. What? I forgot what it was. But
Patch notes time.
Yeah, it was a while ago though. It was a while ago though. But they changed something about her to make her more viable as a carry. But this podcast is not about Windrunner, unfortunately. We already did that one, I believe.
We're gonna do
Yes, we did.
Yep, Wind Ranger. That was episode 3. So that's his basic ability builds. We went briefly over kind of how you play him. So it's going to be, depending on how you build him, you're either going to be blinking in, doing your stun, getting in there, and, kind of buffing everybody. You're almost like a, don't they have something like that in, like, WoW? Like a...
Paladin.
Paladin, almost, yeah. Something like that. Similar kind of concept.
Yeah, it's similar to a paladin, where you have some buff abilities, but you're really relied on for your strength.
Yeah, exactly. Because he gets very tanky.
Tankiness.
Yeah, he gets so tanky.
But
especially if you build hearts.
Paladins heal.
He has no heal.
Depends on what spec you are.
But, oh yeah, that is true. That is true. I forgot how to play WoW.
Alright, so that's his basic ability builds.
Glad my new game of choice is Dota, honestly. A
Yeah.
lot cheaper.
It's a lot cheaper than WoW, yeah.
I don't know with me. I think I spent more on
Oh my
Dota
God.
in the past year.
God, we're not going back.
That's your
into
choice.
this. I don't know, you were pretty bad when we were on WoW. You'd be buying, oh, look, babe, I bought you a $25 mount. That's great.
Thanks.
That was a Christmas gift.
It is very pretty, but look, now I'm not playing it on WoW, and I can't see it in Dota. And it looked
I
like
Yeah.
would
puck.
never buy you that.
Oh my god, Chip, seriously.
No comment.
I hope you don't.
All right, so we're just gonna move past this section. We're gonna go right to his strengths and weaknesses for heroes.
Wait. Did we
What?
miss the standard build?
We did again.
thing?
God damn it! And I
Yeah,
skipped it in my thing.
Yeah, no, you just read over it. It's there.
Where is
I
it?
swear it's there.
It's not there. I skipped it. I didn't even put it in the table.
Ability builds.
Oh yeah,
That's alright, Jordan. We know you have better things to do, but you
Yeah,
don't have
seriously.
to really just brush us off like
You
that.
don't even want to tell people how to really play this character. You're just
No.
like, nope.
I think PJ should
No.
read the ability builds.
I do have it up if PJ
In a
does
voice.
want me to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Hey,
yeah, do a
Leanna.
voice.
Do a voice.
No, PJ, do it. Do it with a voice.
What am I reading?
It's the link
Ah,
right
fuck
there.
it.
So who's he strong against in lane? Who's good?
God
to
damn
be
it, we're
good
still
against?
skipping over this shit.
Oh shit, my bad.
Oh my
Ability
God.
build. Ability build.
So how do you build
Just
him?
keep
What do you
swimming,
level
just
first?
keep swimming.
What am I level?
Um,
He doesn't know what we're looking at.
Pretty
oh,
much
God, don't-
the hero skills, correct?
Yes, correct.
Yes.
How do you build him,
Okay,
Peach?
so the first one you kind of want to get is Stormhammer,
Okay.
and the second one I would build into Warcry.
Yep.
The third, actually build that Stormhammer again.
Yep.
The fourth would be Great Cleave. That sounds about right.
Yeah, just 1 point in
The-
it. Just that's the 1 point for the
yeah.
cleave thing.
The fifth, the actual stun again, Stormhammer.
Yep.
God Strength, the that
Your
the
ultimate.
the ultimate, level
That-
6.
That
Ooh.
steroids.
And I would top off the stun with level 7.
And what are you doing that for? That's your damage, right? Like it does more damage every level because the stun stays the same. The stun duration, I believe, is always 2 seconds.
Yes.
So it's just gonna be
exactly.
doing more
100,
damage.
100 to 325 as
Each
the
level,
most.
yeah.
That's pretty good.
So you're maxing out your
Actually.
Stormhammer first.
Yeah. And afterwards, Warcry, and Warcry from 8 to 10.
Yep.
And then 11 as the ultimate again, God's Strength.
Yeah, you would get that your standard one, 6, 11, 16.
Then you would finish Great Cleave 12, 13, and 14. And then the ultimate 16 again. And let's see. Yep,
Stats.
17 to 25 stats, and more fucking stats. I actually forgot 15 before 16.
That was a
which
stat.
be stats.
Yeah, it's stats,
Yes,
it's fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's always stats.
It's always
Well,
stats.
usually.
Yeah, I actually would play like this, but I actually did the Great Cleave pretty much like what I do, like 19 to 22, which was horrible.
Oh yeah, that's
I
a fair idea.
I
What?
wonder why they wanted.
What build
me to
did you
kill myself.
follow? That's
I look
terrible.
retarded now. Yeah, it was definitely a fucking build that I followed. I'm sorry, Jeff.
That's a
I'm sorry.
horrible build.
That's
Horrible.
terrible. Don't do that. Don't do that. Please do what he just said. That build is much better. Just get
Yeah,
your
I
points
think
in
I'm
your
just gonna
Stormhammer
look
for
on
the
this-
damage.
I'm just gonna look at like Dota Fire instead. Of
Well, I've been
all
trying.
the
I've been
shit
trying to
guides.
do it without builds. Like if you think about it
Yeah.
logically, it makes sense. I mean, you only want to
Yeah.
get 1 point in the Great Cleave kind of early. You don't want to get too early because you don't want to push it too much. But it is nice if just for clear a little bit because it's not doing that much extra damage the first level, but just to have
And
it.
Honestly, if if you're in the habit of just following guides all the time, like the builds,
Yeah.
you're just gonna be lazy and you're not even gonna read anything.
Well, yeah, I'm
you know,
totally guilty of
what
that.
It does.
Oh yeah,
It's
me
true.
too.
It's true. So that's why it's better off just to
I think this
Go
next
with-
game, right? We should not
Yeah.
use a build, any of us, and we'll see how well
Are
we
you
do.
fucking
Yeah.
serious?
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Yay!
No builds.
No build for Visage.
We're gonna see.
Awesome
Oh
it'd be.
my god.
Well, no, not if it's the
Oh,
first time playing the
yeah.
character. If it's your first time playing the character, use the build because then, I mean, you'll be somewhat understanding of what you're supposed to be
At
doing.
least if you're familiar
Ooh.
enough.
If
then...
this is the first time playing your character, go into practice mode, please.
Well, I don't
make
mean
me go
first
through
time.
that.
No, you play your bot games, obviously,
Dude,
but
you know how much time I would miss so many games with you if I had to like play practice before.
Well, you
I don't have that
have
time. I ain't got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for
excuse.
that.
We can almost carry you. I mean, you're pretty heavy, but
I'm having dun, 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 dun.
the
What?
trumpet plays every time he's walking. You don't even need
Alright,
a Foley
well,
board. We got
And
That's
we
now
got
we
the
get sued by
skills.
Fox.
God damn it.
Oh, damn.
Don't sing the happy
But-
birthday song. Copyrighted.
Wait a minute. Yeah, that is copyrighted. Probably. But
you already did.
here's another question, though. What
Yes.
if you make your own build?
You can
Are
do
you allowed
that.
to follow that?
I do that.
Of course you can, yeah.
Oh,
Hell
okay.
yeah.
I feel a
It's
little
just,
bit better then. I do have
um,
a couple of builds on some of my characters.
Because
but
I notice
they're
I do it
probably
too.
horrible.
Like, I don't think about it. Chip's like, oh, he's like, oh, you get this next. I'm like, oh yeah, dude, that totally makes sense. And then like the next thing, the giant glowing fucking thing is on the wrong skill. And I'm like, oh, up that one. And then I don't even think like, oh shit, I really should have got another point in that. But I don't think of it.
I actually have a published build for Viper, and I named it Poison in Your Arse.
Arse.
Yeah.
Because he says poison in your eye. That's his motto. Poison in your ass, you know? That's my motto. Alright, moving
I bet
on.
it is, big boy.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my god.
So we're gonna
I
go
got
to
it.
his ability guide. No, we just did that. Or did-
God damn it, you can't even follow your own fucking
I think
shit.
someone else should host this episode. Something's wrong with me today.
Oh my god, this is what happens when you have a day off from work.
This is what happens. I've
Yeah.
had a Coke Zero today. Okay, I actually had tacos.
Oh.
Tonight was taco night. It was pretty nice. They were delicious.
I should have gave you a surge before this.
Oh,
I actually had 2 Red Bulls before this, so I'm pretty pumped.
just so
Ooh.
everyone's aware, you can buy Surge on Amazon. Remember Surge? 90s drink similar to Mountain Dew except better. You can buy it
Dude,
on
If you're
Amazon.
too young, you will not remember this.
Leo, you weren't.
It's
you
awesome.
were born in the '90s.
That's right.
You're not a '90s kid.
I didn't say
I
I
was
was.
born in
I said it was
90s.
in the 90s
And how do you remember it?
because it was delicious, and my mom didn't care about my health and let me drink it.
Hell
When you're
yeah.
Hell
Two?
yeah, just like a great parent.
No, it didn't end at it didn't
When-
end at 95, 90s. It didn't end
As
till
long
like
as it made you
early
happy.
2000s, I think. 98, 99.
Yeah.
You
They
just
had-
turned. You were born in the '90s. Like
I was born in
99,
92.
right?
99.
Asshole.
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
he's not
God.
that little.
You're the same. You're the same age as my cousin.
Your cousin, is she hot?
I don't know if he's hot.
Whatever's good for Leo at this point.
Yeah.
He will take a pillow.
Does it got a hole in
They
it?
make- They make those Japanese pillows with faces and stuff.
Oh god, faceless void.
Oh yeah.
Do you
What?
want a faceless boy pillow?
I would not want that.
The T-Rex one, the T-Rex one. Oh my god,
my
I wish
God.
so badly. The
It's-
lobster one was pretty funny too.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I don't know why they gave him a
Oh,
model
wow.
rework out of everybody. I know that we voted for it, but
voted
that's
for it.
stupid. It's like he was the one who didn't need it. His model was fine.
They
Ugh.
should have put that on
I
April
voted for it
1st.
too, and I don't know why.
Ugh.
I like him better the new way.
All they did
It's
was
cool.
add like a little bit of more texture to his face.
Dude, have you
Yeah.
seen his
Oh,
abs?
He's
yeah.
feel?
faceless. Why does he need more fucking detail on his face?
Whoa,
They added
whoa.
abs,
He needs
guys.
some detail.
They added
Oh,
abs, as I said.
Dude, have you seen his abs? They're like huge.
That's
It's
all Chip
so
Oh
noticed.
my
big.
god.
That's like the
what's
only
his
thing they
penis size
added.
now? Did they remodel that, Chip?
No, I'm pretty sure he's still under the leotard, or not the leotard. The what's it called?
Penisless.
The
Loincloth.
yes, loincloth.
A leotard. He's just walking around with a leotard.
Oh, they should make that. Somebody make that.
Someone make it
Oh
quick.
my god, Dota Workshop.
Okay, so what are we doing here? What's the next step? Someone else read it because apparently I keep reading it wrong. What are we doing next?
General gameplay, and hold on, I'm gonna click this link.
We did general gameplay.
No, we didn't. Maybe. I don't know. Hold on.
Oh no, we did briefly. We talked about like blinking in and doing the
Very
stun
briefly.
and doing that kind of
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Skill
Leanna,
usage.
what do we do when we play Sven?
Well, when leveling up, the Storm Hammer only gains damage as it goes up, so you only need to level this up if you want to maximize the damage. Warcry will effectively give you more survivability for 6 seconds when you use it, so that is why you would want to do that second. The Cleave is very tempting to level up quickly, but don't, because you're going to push your lane too fast, and you don't want to do that because that's going to really piss off the rest of your team. And the ultimate, God's Strength, is pretty fantastic. It only amplifies your base damage, though. So leveling
Fantastic.
it's Sventastic.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Let's be
Copyrighted.
actually gay about this.
Yeah. But there's
Sorry,
nothing
go
wrong
ahead.
with that.
You can go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that, audience. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Yes,
Five
go
PJs.
punish
million
yourself
people
now.
of the world.
Message approved by PJ.
So yeah, when you level it up, it's good, but just remember it's only going to scale your base damage. So be
So it's
wary of
not gonna
that.
be it's not gonna stack with the items you get. You mean like so if you get a damage
Exactly.
item, it doesn't add on to that.
Yes, it's going to stack with your actual, was it the stats?
Yeah.
So during the fight scene, if you are able to get a Stormhammer in for the initiation, that's great. But if you're facing incoming damage, you should probably go up with a War Cry. That way you get a survivability bonus and boost, the movement speed boost if you're trying to get the hell out of the fight. Good retreat, and for chase as well. If you do have your war cry up first and you level Stormhammer second, it is good for disabling the magic heavy heroes, and you can also use it to catch up on fleeting opponents. So you can use your war cry to speed up and then catch up to them close enough to get that Stormhammer off, just to secure the kill if need be.
Kill them all.
And God's Strength should always be active during team fights. I don't care what the hell you're doing. If you don't have it up during a team fight, you're doing it wrong.
You suck.
Yes,
if
I
you're-
did it wrong because I never used it enough, honestly.
If you're in the jungle, hit it while they're in a team fight somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're not even in there, you're in the fountain, fucking hit it. You need
Yes. If you
Don't
just want to
actually
glow
do that.
red, you'll be fine.
Until you get the cleave.
Because that's
then
really
you
the
go in
important thing
jungle.
about the skill is that it turns you red. That's the biggest thing.
It is. If they could add sparkles
Yes.
to it would be even better.
It would.
Oh, so
I mean,
Sparkle.
yeah, the bonus damage is nice and the other stuff is nice, but really, the important thing is you turn red.
You're a red rocket.
You're a red rocket.
Ready to explode.
You're actually gonna imitate Axe, and he'll blush a little bit too. So
Okay. Was that it for his
Alright.
basic ability stuff?
yeah. So his basic abilities. There you go. Some
His
basic
general
gameplay
gameplay.
notes. Yes, unless you'd like to throw something else in there.
No, I think that's good. I haven't played him in so long. I wouldn't be able to tell you how to play him anyway.
Yeah, I'm
So
just reading
Chip-
off a guide.
What?
What
PJ.
are Sven's counter picks?
Yeah, how do you? Well, actually, should we? Yeah. What counters Sven?
You are very good with counters, honestly.
Yeah.
I will give you that.
Yeah, I have a web page that tells me them, but we're gonna ask Chip. Chip,
Yes.
Hmm.
The top of your head.
who's he weak
Or you
against?
can just use the guide that we have now.
Oh wow! Put all the pressure on me.
Yeah, so much pressure.
Yep.
All right, we'll play a guessing game. How's that? Chip, do you
Let's see if
think-
you're right.
Yeah, we'll play yes or no. Do you think that Sven is weak against Faceless Void?
I would say so.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Correct.
10 points.
Ding ding ding.
Ding 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 ding.
All right. So, is Fen weak against Phantom Lancer?
I would say so again.
No, you are wrong. Sven is actually strong against Phantom Lancer.
I'm sorry.
No.
I honestly thought you said Phantom Assassin.
You
I'm
must.
sorry, Chip, but you lost $5,000.
Oh my god.
You only get
And
10 for
minus-
winning.
Better luck
Minus
next time.
50 DKP.
You lose 8 MMR.
More dots.
Still more than yours.
But we'll go over his week against first. We'll go over these really
Yeah.
quick. So it says here on mobacounter.com, Faceless Void, Razor, Omni Knight, Bane, and Alchemist. And I'm just trying to think briefly why maybe they're weak against them. I wish these had comments on them as to why.
Nobody wants to comment on it.
Nobody
Yeah.
has added fucking comments.
And I'm just not good. I mean, Razor is easy. Razor's a counter against fucking everybody because if you're a right-click hero, Razor's a counter against you because then you'll have no attack damage. You're not going to do shit. And his thing scales, remember, not with his items, but with his attack ability. So your buff, if you buff 10 points of damage, it's fucking not much. then
Yeah,
it normally
it's
would
pretty
be.
useless.
Yeah. Omni Knight, I could see that because he has his thing. I think that makes everyone immune from... Does he have something for physical damage?
Yeah, his oh shit, I forget what it's called. Repel, I think it is.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like a little BKB, but for physical damage.
Mhm.
Or excuse me, magical damage actually.
Because his Q is magical. Sven's Q is magical, so it will counter that. But I'm pretty sure Omni has something for physical damage as well.
Yeah, his
Heal.
ulti.
Yeah, so it counters that pretty hard because all of Sven's right clicks are and all his right clicks and his cleaves are regular, just physical damage. Bane and Alchemist. Bane, I can see maybe because you can kind of take him out of the fight. So if he goes in with his ultimate, all you need to do is your Nightmare on him, and then he's out of the fight, and just keep him in that Nightmare until his buff runs out, and then he loses 200% of his damage output. So I could definitely see that too.
Yeah.
Alchemist and Faceless Void, I have no idea.
Nope.
I would say
Faceless Dodge.
Alchemist because the green poison on the ground that he throws.
Yeah, I could see that.
A huge
I-
AoE.
He motherfucker.
Yeah,
Alchemist does, yeah.
and his.
I don't know why I don't play him ever. I should.
He's a great hero to play. He's really underrated.
I played him once and I was terrified. I'm like, yeah, fuck this.
I'd
Yeah,
say
he-
Faceless because he can honestly dodge like all his attacks, like all of them, but most of them.
Yeah, and with Alchemist, I can see probably the unstable concoction, that like little potion he shakes up and you can throw it at Sven. Probably just disable him for a good I think it's like 3 to 5 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't like this website.
Yeah, I wish it
Well,
explained stuff
sorry.
more.
It's very vague.
But
Well,
we'll go to
the other
the
one is too. So
who's he
Well,
strong
yeah.
against?
It's like voting. You vote.
Yeah, you up vote, down vote, whatever.
So he's strong against Phantom Lancer, one of my favorites.
Yep.
And
Phantom Lancer, Meepo, Chaos Knight,
Chaos
Venge.
Knight, Vengeful Spirit, and Nature's Prophet.
The biggest reason I can see almost every single one of those is because all of them have, except for Vengeful Spirit, they all have some kind of illusion or something like that they create.
Yes.
So his
Then the cleave would be
Exactly.
good against that. Yep.
the Meepo, you
makes
just
sense.
kill one of them and they all die. The Phantom Lancer, it doesn't matter if you're hitting the right one or not because your cleave is going through and doing a bunch of damage to them all anyway.
Mhm.
Chaos Knight, same thing. Nature's Prophet, his things won't be affecting you as much. Vengeful Spirit, I don't really see why. There's only 8 votes, so I'm not really sure if that's a big thing. Maybe the swap, I don't know. Get him out of position so he wastes his buff or something. I don't know.
And I do know Nature's Prophet's not really tanky at all. He can easily put down.
Exactly.
He's just fast around the map.
Yeah, he's
because of
just
the
well, yeah,
teleport.
you get that stun off on him and you can take him out really quick
Mhm.
Yeah.
and interrupt his teleport shit. too.
Yes, I think that's probably why.
anyone who creates a lot of illusions, you're probably going to be strong against. Maybe, what's her name? Medusa, but she's really strong and she can be really tough to kill late game, so I wouldn't say it's a direct counter. But she has her illusions or whatever they're called. I think there's still illusions for her. And if anybody that builds a Manta style and stuff, you're going to be a good counter against as well.
Yeah, I guess that would be the same for Naga Siren too, right?
That's what I meant, yeah, Naga Siren. I didn't mean Medusa. Oops, Medusa doesn't have any things.
No, but I think one of her main pickups is a
A Manta style. Yeah, because then she does her little snake
Manta
thing,
style.
or her multi-shot, and then it's game over. That Medusa.
So Sven is really good to lane with is Io, Marana, Keeper of the Light, Oracle, and Ancient Apparition.
Yep.
Also known as AA.
Yep. I can see
definitely
Io.
that. It's like we talked out in the beginning that you don't really need a tanky character to lane with,
No.
as long as it's a good support.
The reason Io is good is the same reason Io is good with with Tiny too, because Io has his thing that he clings onto you and then he gives you bonus attack speed. Yeah, he does his he jizzes just all over
Yeah,
everybody.
he just jizzes all over
Yeah,
it.
just jizzes
That's
all
Oh
over
my
Sven.
god.
And he makes him faster. So he gets his attack speed up. I mean, Io's losing a bit of health while he's doing it, but he gets the attack speed up and it gives you regen and everything like that. So, in top of being a strength hero, he's getting bonus attack speed, just like Tiny. The same reason you would have a Io Tiny is the same reason you have an Io Sven. You can go in there, get a gank really quick, get out of there with his relocate. So he can make Sven really dangerous if you have someone who knows how to play Io properly. I am not that person, so don't let me pick Io.
You don't see many of those. I know Chip played it well, right?
Not
Debatable.
when I had
Was
a
that you
babysit
that-
Leo.
Yeah,
that
I'm
you that
not
had
good
all
at
those
it.
compliments from people? They're like, "Holy shit, you're like the best IO I ever seen."
Oh yeah, you were there for that. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that.
it was hilarious.
I just TP everybody into
That
the
was a
enemy
good 2
fountain.
days.
It's great.
They're like,
I don't know.
oh my god, this guy's playing IO. We're gonna lose GG, and we won. They're like, oh my god, you're the best IO. I was like, it wasn't that hard. I'm the support. I
sorry.
just bought everything.
I don't know, guys. I've seen an IO go mid and wreck people.
I've seen
With
one
the-
game with that. He was like the
AoE
carrier
balls
on
of
the
light.
team. It was crazy.
He to distract the other team, he would teleport Wrath King into their fountain. So they'll be trying to kill him when he respawned from his grave thing, and he would just like be taking the towers down. That was such a funny game.
Was it a game
Yeah,
you played or a
okay.
game you're talking about?
No, we were playing in it. Like him, the IO and the Wrath King were friends, and he would just teleport him to the fountain like every time he had his reincarnate up, and just leave him there and be like taking towers himself.
That's funny shit.
It was hilarious.
So who's
IO.
that was who what he's good with? Marana? Anybody can think why maybe he's good with Marana?
Setting up dual stun.
Oh, yep. Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
that's true. So you get your 2-second stun. That gives her time to set up the arrow again if you're not me playing. That you can get off and stun for the maximum time.
What is that
And
she
Viz-
throws? Is it as a spear or is it an arrow?
It's an arrow.
It's yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It's an
a
arrow.
long
It's a
arrow.
javelin.
I don't think it is though. I think the flavor text
think
says
it's an arrow.
arrow. Even though it's
It's weird.
obviously not a fucking arrow. The thing is huge.
It's a javelin.
It's an
She
enlarged
throws that
arrow.
shit, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, okay.
Next one, Keeper of the Light, probably for mana. I'm guessing his
Oh god, yeah.
So
Mana.
mana's always going to be a
Chakra.
problem on Sven. So the chakram magic or whatever it's called, that is amazing. So that's always good.
Good
Honest-
with the light thing that goes at them. You can stun
the
them, and he
horsies.
just
Deal?
Oh, yep, keep them in place so you can hit them with that. Because early game that does so much damage. Those horsies, the magical pony horsies.
I think you lamed
Kava
with
is
me
so fun.
once, Leanna. You were Keeper of the Light and I was Sven.
I think that's how we won that game.
I'm pretty
honestly.
sure it was.
Because I remember I stunned them and you did the horsies thing. Well, I'll never remember the fucking name of it, but
Who knows?
Yeah,
Horsies thing is very
I don't
they were,
descriptive.
they were
Remember
just
it.
shitting in their pants. You did it from the forest. I remember that.
Hell yeah, because you want
was
to
good.
position yourself well with Keeper.
Yep.
Oh yeah, about that positions.
I have no
That
idea
old
with our
senile man.
Oracle in Ancient Apparition. I don't know why he's good with them. Oracle is kind of good with
Keeper of
everybody.
the Light.
I don't know if you guys ever played Oracle, but he's cool to play.
No.
I played him once. I did not understand his abilities, and I fucked up in a
He's
bot game like 3
yeah,
times. I was
he's
like,
another
I'm
one
done
It's
you-
with
very
this.
feminine.
You have to read a guide
I
on how
think
to
it
do
is a
it
girl.
because he has
Is it a girl?
his spell
It's a
combination.
lesbian.
No, is it a girl? It might be.
I think it's a girl.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Yeah,
Did we go to Walmart?
because
Is it a girl
wait a minute.
or is it a guy?
Wait a minute. I
That
think it's
jawline. I don't know.
Wait,
that
who's
jaw's
a girl?
more
Oracle.
manlier than
Wait.
my jawline.
Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure Oracle is a girl just for the fact that when I was playing Wrath King, and I think you were Leo, you were playing Oracle. Wrath King said something pretty like provocative to Oracle, like, "Oh, you must have foreseen me in your future," or something like that.
Well, the other
I was like,
obvious
what the
answer is
hell?
that Wrath King's obviously gay.
Oh, that too. But
I mean, look at him.
I don't know. Not that there's anything wrong.
He's
with
like
that.
the angry Texas repressed gay man who like he needs to be married to a woman, but he secretly goes to those gay clubs after. Yep, that's Wraith
And
King,
he looks for a guy with like handlebar mustache.
whose name
There
is
goes
Oracle.
our gay.
And his name is Andy.
gay Republican viewers.
And he's very dandy.
His name is Andy, and he's very dandy. Oh my god!
He likes candy.
All right, let's move on.
Alright.
It says general counters for Sven is completely empty, so Sven is amazing, has no counters. That is what I'm getting
No
out of this
counters.
guide. There's no counters for Sven at all. No, not really. There is. Anybody who can take away his mana, number one, probably a big counter. Lion, who else has a mana sap? Oh, Keeper of the Light is good with him and good against him because he has his magic or his mana drain thing.
Yes, he does.
Any hero that has a mana drain is probably good to lane against him on, honestly, because he doesn't have a lot of mana.
Silencer.
Silencer, also good. You can't get those buffs off. He's missing 200% of his damage potential or more. So that's definitely a big counter against. So I would say just anybody with a mana sap, just pick that up and you'll be good to go.
Yep, mana sap or disable, like Lion's Hex.
Yep. So I think that's about it for Sven, unless you guys want to talk about anything else about him.
Can we talk about him being red again?
Well, yeah,
And with your BKB,
Red Rocket.
red, yellow rocket.
yeah, red, yellow rocket.
Or if you get the, was it Muljinder?
No, there's just that one thing.
Oh,
Just kidding.
nope, fuck it. Next part.
No.
Next part,
Discussion of the week.
part 4. Discussion of the week. This is from P-Frog, submitted by P-Frog. As we said, we talked about it very briefly last week. He was kind enough to put a post on our Steam community page. And, funnily enough...
Our one fan.
Yeah, our one fan. I was listening to the
We
We Like...
It's negative or positive. We love the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
We
just-
love P-Frog.
Look,
We
thank
love
you.
P-Frog.
We don't care what you say. We will take it into account.
But if it's negative, I will find you.
And kissed you,
And he
because
will
it's
hug
so
you.
nice of you.
Yes,
So
'cause
nice.
you paid attention to me.
But anyway, random
Chip
tangent.
is starved for attention.
He is, you can
Yes,
tell.
I am.
All the way in New Jersey by himself. Ladies, if you need a man,
Oh my god.
he
If
can
you
make
need a
any
man.
kind of sandwich you would like. No problem. You need extra pickles? That's your man.
He
if you-
specializes in the
and
pickle sandwich.
Gentlemen, if
And
you
he
need
will
a
dictate
man,
you.
Dotic at RhodeIsland.com.
Yeah.
RhodeIsland.com.
Oh, man.
Wait,
Anyway,
what was that website you were using?
plenty of fish.
Oh my god.
Right on there. Actually, that's probably my username. You can find me on there. Hit me up.
Don't find me.
I told Leanna the perfect idea for you.
What's that?
Honestly.
Oh, this is actually a really good idea. You got to pay attention to this.
Don't go to Plenty of Fish, all right?
All right. Where do I go?
Go to GameStop in Johnston, and only girls that are gamers work there.
Yeah.
And they're not
Oh,
ugly.
work there.
Yes.
Okay.
So just chill there
Yeah.
with your DS or something.
I don't got a
and,
DS.
Strike up a conversation.
You tell me I gotta
whole
buy a
other
DS to
reason-
get women?
Yes,
Is
this
that what
a
I have
whole
to do?
other reason why you have to
Sure.
buy a DS.
Just be like, hey, so what's the best, DS you can recommend?
The red one.
I'll be like, I don't
Works
know.
well with Sven.
A DS is a DS. Get out of here, creep.
Yeah. If I keep going there, I mean, eventually the cops are gonna get called. But
That's
there
only
might
if you're
be a
Yes.
chance.
Just keep your pants on. You should be fine.
That's up for the podcast people to decide, because I'm on camera right now. You can tell me.
Okay,
Women of
Leo?
GameStop. What's up?
Leo, first step of
Hot
getting a
or
woman.
not?
What's the first step, Chip?
First
Dow
step
us
of
with your
getting a woman,
knowledge.
Don't be ugly.
Yeah, that's true. Rules of life, folks, for
Sec-
everybody.
Second step. Be good looking.
Be attractive. Rule number 2, don't be
Oh,
unattractive.
so rule number 1 is okay, you're right.
Of course I'm right. I'm always right. When I'm with
And you're
you, Chip.
also ugly.
So we're gonna get going to this next section here before it's fucking 10:30. So what should I be
It's
doing when I
already
feel
10:30.
like
It is
there's?
10:30.
God damn it, 10:35. What should I be doing when I feel like there's nothing to do as a support? This was, like I said, submitted by P-Frog. And just on a side note, really quick, I actually was listening to some of the earlier We Like Dota podcasts, and he submitted something to them too, which I thought was interesting. This whore. He's a
loves
whore.
all the Dota podcasts.
But I'm just kidding, P-Frog. Thank you for submitting that. We're actually have to ask ourselves that every time we play, so we're probably not the best people to ask. We're gonna do our best.
I know what to do. I just never tell you guys.
What do you do, Chip? What is when you're playing support, right?
No. I'll go last because
No, go over it.
Just
Chip,
go
you got
straight
this.
to the
No, no,
point because we have
no.
10 pages to read. Come
no.
on.
Okay, anyway. We'll go over really quick. What is your general role as a support? I'm asking this rhetorically, of
Yeah.
course, because I'm going to answer it myself. Generally what you want to be doing is if you're in lane, if you're the number 5 support or the number 4 support, as we talked about the priorities before, you're generally probably going to be in lane with your hard carry, which means they need to be getting the farm, they need to be getting the last hits, they need to be getting the experience. If you're doing like really hardcore, like, you know, you really want to be the support and you can actually step away from them so you don't sap their experience, but that's not quite necessary. As long as you're in lane, you get first buy the wards and the fucking choreo. Jesus Christ, buy that shit immediately.
Please.
If there's only you, I'm sorry, but fucking buy it. And if there's another support on the team, have them buy the choreo, you buy the wards. Whatever you need to do, figure that shit out. Get at least one ward on the rune, either bottom or top. You want at least a ward there. If you're if you're Radiant, put it somewhere so you have some vision on your jungle. But there's some spots you can put it where there's vision on your jungle and the rune, which is nice. But get your wards down, and then you're going to be either assisting with getting the denies on your creeps, or you're going to be harassing the opponent in the laning phase. So you want to be maybe not in front of your creeps, because you don't want to be taking too much damage, but you want to kind of try to zone out the enemy team so that they're not getting the experience and the last hits that they need, and it allows your carry to get it instead, which is actually really nice. The wards last 7 minutes, so the first few minutes of the game are going to be pretty much just that. You going in and out of the lane, placing the ward, zoning out the enemy.
Pulling creep camps.
Yep, that's what I was going to go over next. Pulling the creep camps. That's going to be your other thing.
Stacking the pulling creep camp, so your creep wave goes way back.
Yeah, because as you know, if you're playing the carry, you generally want to keep the creep wave as close as possible to your tower without your tower hitting the creeps, because then it makes it more difficult to last hit. But you want the creep wave towards your tower. The best way to do that is, say you have a shitty carry on your team and you need to get your lane pulled back. The easiest way to do that is to call creep pulling or camp pulling, whatever the heck they call it. This is going to be different depending on the lane you're in, depending if you're a melee or a range character. The timing is going to be a little bit different, so you might just have to look that up. I don't want to go over that. It's going to be difficult with the audio podcast anyway. You want to just pretty much go to the creep lane closest to your lane. You hit them so that they follow you out towards your lane, towards your tower, and then what will happen is the lane creeps, instead of running right to your enemy and running to those creeps, they'll see the enemy, the side creeps, whatever the heck you call them, the jungle creeps.
Neutral.
Yeah, the neutral creeps. And they'll start attacking those instead, and they'll actually get pulled into your jungle. So this does a couple things. Of course, it pulls your lane back, because now there's not another set of creeps for another 30 seconds or whatever it is coming from your base. So it allows the enemy creeps to push forward more, which pushes the lane back to your tower, which is great. But it also allows you to get some experience too, because your carry is still going to be in lane farming. It allows you as the support to get a couple last hits, so you can make sure you have some gold, and also gives you that experience and everything as well. And Chip briefly mentioned as well the stacking, which just means pulling the creeps out right before the minute marker, because the creep can't spawn every minute, so 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, blah blah blah, for the rest of the game. If you pull them at like 53 seconds, I think is generally the timing.
Yeah, 53 is like the perfect time.
Yeah, so if you pull it at 53 seconds, you attack when you run away. You'll notice when they run back, there's going to be another set of creeps there. And what this does is, it's for one, it stacks them, so that way, if your carry for whatever reason is getting zoned out of lane or having some trouble, or the creeps are too far or whatever, they can go into the jungle and just be hitting those creeps and getting almost just as much experience without even having to go in a lane, without having to get killed by the enemy team or be around the enemy team, which is nice too. And then usually, by that point,
you're the actual one who gains that experience and that gold.
Normally.
The support.
Yeah, because you're doing it for, you need something. Because if you're not going to be in lane with your carry, you're going to be missing out on a lot of experience. He's going to be getting the levels, but I mean, of course, you're not as important to get levels, but you don't want to be level 8 while your carry is level 16. I mean, it's just going to be, you're going to get ganked way too easy. So you can use that time to stack the camps and then get those kills yourself, depending on what kind of support you are, what you're playing as a character. And then usually by that point, I mean, your wards are up again. Just make sure there's some kind of wards always up. Even if all you do is put the wards on the rune spot, that's fine. I mean, if you don't know any good rune spots, you're not quite sure where to put them, you're just nervous about getting yelled at where to put them, one's really going to yell at you if you put them on the rune spot.
Well, that's why they have guidelines around the map anyway, with the little eye symbols.
Ask your mid where he wants it. If he wants more vision, so he doesn't get ganked, he'll probably say oh, put it right here so I can see where they are a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And he'll pick it on the map.
That's give him or her the choice.
Yep, exactly. Because that's what's important. The wards aren't really for you necessarily, because you actually have to be careful too now. Another small mechanic is that if you put a ward in front of a creep camp or a jungle camp and it has vision on it, that will actually prevent more creeps from spawning there. So kind of be careful where you put them. Like PJ was just saying, there is some spots designated on the map. They have like an eye symbol on them. Those are the very common rune spots. They're usually generally just good all-purpose runes, or wards, sorry. But the problem with those is that everyone puts one there so they can get dewarded really easily. Depending on your skill level and your skill bracket, you might not even run into that at all, though. I mean, very rarely do we have people dewarding us. I've noticed it the past few games we have, but very rarely do we run into that because we're so scrubbed. But
also, honestly, you should use your voice, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Be communicative. That's the biggest thing.
Please let everybody know. Like, I do that a lot. I don't really talk a lot, but I do let everybody know, like, oh, there's a pudge coming left side of the map, and because I usually spot them fast because I have the little faces showing up on my map, so I know who's who on the map.
And you can be spending time.
You have saved us many times.
You have.
Yeah,
because
everything
Leo
helps,
forgets
honestly.
a call missing.
I'm concentrating on last hits. I don't have time to look at the map. But that's generally what it is. Exactly. So
that's my designated job.
The support, you want to be giving the vision. You want to be keeping an eye on the map because again, you're going to be walking between creep camps. You're going to be stacking camps, and once it's stacked, I mean, you're not doing anything for a couple seconds while you're doing that. Take a look at the map, see if you can just ping out where the enemies are, make people aware of where the ganks might be going, that kind of stuff.
Honestly, like once you hit a couple levels, it's recommended that you start rotating in the map.
Correct.
Maybe help top to gank somebody, get an easy kill. Help mid if you can. If there's like a invis rune, you can honestly grab it and help mid, but ask mid first if they want you to grab it.
Yeah, because a lot of mids will have a bottle, and of course they want to use that to refill.
If they're having trouble, just go to that lane, help them, go back to your other lane.
Because what's good too is if you help them and you get that gank off, and you help get that gank off, you're going to get right back up there on the levels anyway. The levels that you missed by walking away from the lane. You'll pick right back up once you get a gank. And if you're any kind of support with a stun or something, you can set up so many kills very, very easily.
Yeah, very true.
So, I mean, there's really not much time where you can be kind of standing around not doing anything because at every minute there's going to be a creep camp spawning, so you can be stacking a creep camp. If you're not within range of that, I mean, you can be harassing the enemy. If it's within the 7-minute timer for the runes or for the wards, you could be getting more wards. There's always something that can be done. And then of course, if you really don't know, honestly guys, just ask, either text or just ask in game. People aren't going to get mad if you say, what do you want me to do? Where do you want these runes? Or I always keep on runes. Where do you want these wards? No one's going to get mad at you for that. They're going to be, okay, cool, this guy actually wants to learn, it's fine.
Yeah, at least you're caring about the game and trying to win, so instead
of just sitting there like play your role effectively.
Exactly.
Oops, I got disconnected from it again. But anything else? I mean, that's going to cover pretty much the entire game. Just help you rotate, get those ganks off. During team fights, I mean, this of course all depends on what kind of support you are, like what character you're playing, what hero you're playing. Some of them have more stuns. Some of them are, they give buffs. Someone like Oracle gives like a buff, makes people invis and stuff. So you can do a lot of different things in team fights. But generally, I mean, if you keep vision up on the map, that's going to be a big thing. Harass the enemy team, because if you're like I said, if you're a support, you're the hard support, you're going to be probably laning it with your hard carry. You want to get you want to get them as buffed as you can. You want to make sure they get the early levels. So babysit them. That's like the anti-mage. You need someone there to babysit you in lane so that you can get to that point where you have all those items and you have those abilities and you're powerful, because the support's never going to get to that really powerful point. You can have games with a support sometimes where all you have is mana boots and a freaking what do you call it, like a magic wand or something, and that's not, you didn't necessarily do a bad job. It's just you don't need a lot of items as a support. Like if I play Treant now, I mean, he got changed a little bit, so I might need the Ags, but generally I need boots and Ags and I'll be fine, and that's all you need the entire game.
Yeah, same with Ogre Magi. He doesn't really need a lot to be powerful and annoying as shit.
Yeah. In supports, you're not there to just wreck everybody. Don't think you are. because that's the carry's job.
Exactly. And
First
as I said too,
foremost.
I mean, you have so many different roles as, well, not roles, but so many different jobs as a support. A lot of the times it's more difficult to play a support than it is to play a carry. You have to have your eyes on the map all the time. You have to be keeping vision up. You have to be, or actually there's another thing too, keep dust up if you can. If there's an invisible hero on the other team, you should be getting the dusts in the sentry wards for that. You got to be stacking camps. You have to be making sure that your farm, your carry gets farmed. You're doing a lot of different things at the same time. So it's definitely a more difficult position to play, I think, than the hard carry is. The hard carry is pretty much get last hits and kills.
Yeah.
Stack ancients for late
Stack
game.
ancients, yep. It's like there's so many different things, and ancients are you should probably know what they are. I don't really know how to describe them. They're like the big creeps. There's one above the Roshan pit on the Dire side, and there's one to the left of the mid lane on the Radiant side,
and
up
you
on the
can't use
hill.
abilities on them, correct?
They're magic immune.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
So you can't use
gotta
magical abilities on
auto-attack them. Yep.
But if you just, you right click them, and they spawn the same time the regular creep camps do, so at a minute mark. So if you just run into them, hit them once at 53 seconds, just run away from them. When you go back here, there's going to be another set of ancients there. And again, this is just, it gets your team more prepared. That means that Sven can come by later, or that Phantom Assassin can come by later, get all those creeps, and that's more money. That's, that's 500-600 gold. That will definitely go a long way. And it's stuff like that I wish Dota did a better job of showing kind of what a support does, because right now they're kind of underappreciated because you don't see all that kind of stuff. I mean, you see the wards, of course, and the runes and the vision that you get, but you don't see the stacking. You don't see them pulling the creeps. You don't see them harassing too much. They don't get credit for that. So it can be difficult as a support player. You're going to get blamed a lot, unfortunately, if you're a support player. God forbid someone dies and there wasn't vision on it for whatever reason. It's totally your fault because the ward wasn't up, even though you had the ward up in a different position.
Exactly.
So it's definitely not an easy role to play, but I think it's a fun one.
As if you would say in WoW terms, you'd pretty much be the healer.
Yeah.
Even though you're not healing sometimes, you're pretty much that role.
Yeah, and you could play Dazzle though if you really want to play that.
Yeah.
Like Dazzle has a really good heal. Treant Protector has a really good heal.
Omni Knight.
If you like those characters, a lot of times that's what happens. I think Leanna usually plays support, and you did the same thing in WoW too. I mean, it's just you like playing that type of character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't prefer being up close and personal. I've never really enjoyed being a melee character. I mean, like I said, there are some exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, in almost every game that I play, if there's an option to be a support or healer class, I do it. Even when we were playing Battlefield, Bad Company, I always went medic.
True.
Yep. It's just some people prefer
I did so much. I did so much for the team by just being a good support.
We just got a new follower on Twitter, guys.
Woo!
Bunny Data.
Hello, new follower.
He's a
next episode about you.
Weirdo. So general thing: stack camps, zone out stuff, get vision, get dusts and wards. There's really, I mean, there probably shouldn't be at any point in the game, and I still catch myself doing it, where you're saying, what should I do now? Because if you're at that point, rotate to another lane, try to get a gank off. There's always something that you can be doing, definitely. In worst case, just run around, make it look like you're doing stuff. And then
just run around in a circle.
No one will know. I mean,
so P-Frog, I hope we explained enough what to do with
yeah, I hope that, I mean, we kind of rambled a bit, but I think you got a general idea.
Yeah. Definitely a lot of shit you have to keep observing. So
yeah,
I'd like to throw in two more things before we get off this topic.
Push
the tower. Push the tower if you can, especially if you're ranged and you're not sure what to do, and you're, the entire enemy team's down. You just want a team fight, or most of the enemy team is down. If you're not near where the rest of your people are, but you see like a creep wave advancing in on a tower, go in, help. Do a little bit of damage on it. It will make a difference later on.
Oh yeah, totally.
Because even if you're picking away at it, eventually it will go down. You get the bonus for taking the tower down. It's great.
And sometimes, especially if the rest of the team is distracted, attacking whatever else on the map. Pretty much, I do this. I just push towers as
that split push.
Everybody's attacking the other team, and then the other team won't go to you because they're too busy attacking our team. That usually happens.
And I do find this true usually when like Chip plays Wind Ranger. We'll be all top, he'll be at bottom pushing. If you have a Nature's Prophet, all he does is push, push, push. It's just the
Or even
standard thing
Shadow
that you want to
Shaman
do.
too. Very
Shadow
good for pushing.
Shaman. Oh yeah, he's great for pushing, and as a support, that's one of his main duties. His ultimate is great for that. Um, and then the last thing I wanted to touch on is not necessarily what you should be doing as a support if you don't know what you're doing, like if you don't know what else to do, but if you have absolutely no vision on the enemy and you have wards up everywhere, they might also have wards up and they know kind of something's up. You, as a support, and it sucks to say it, you may have to be the sacrifice or bait.
The bait. Yeah, you did a good job yesterday. Or you were playing Witch Doctor.
Right?
No, Leanna did one
Yes.
too. She was playing Witch
Yep, I
Doctor. I picked up like an Invis rune. And Witch Doctor, I mean, he's a really good support, but he does some damage too. But they went on you because they thought you were alone. There was like 2 or 3 heroes, and then I showed up as
ulti.
Yep, and then I showed up with the Templar and I killed them both. Unfortunately, you had to die. But a thing with the support is you're not dependent on the gold. You don't need the items. You don't need a lot of the experience. I mean, you're giving the team a little bit, the enemy team a little bit, but if your carry can get 2 kills and just have you die, it was totally worth it. It was definitely worth it for you to die for that.
It's great too if exactly like he said, he had an invis rune and you make it look like you're being the noob and you don't know what you're doing. You're just, oh look, their instinct is they see you and they start salivating because they're like, oh, we can get an easy kill right here.
Yep.
And their instincts kick in and they want to go and just take you out. Unfortunately, you are the bait. You are that sacrifice. You're going to die, but the rest of your team is going to most likely annihilate 4 or 5 other characters for that one death of yours.
Yep.
Your team should not hate you for this, by the way. If you hate a support for getting you 5 kills, go fuck yourself.
You're an asshole. Just be communicative with it though too.
Yeah, if you're the carry that's dying so many times, that's different.
No, yeah, you never really want to feed.
that's
You never want to.
Forgivable.
You don't really want to sacrifice yourself as the carry. You really should be dying as least as possible. And really, you kind of don't want to die very often as the support too, because you don't want to be giving the enemy team kills. But if you think that you're in a situation where if you die, your team can perhaps get even 1 kill on the carry. If you trade their carry for you as a support, again, totally worth it. Because you're shutting down their enemy team's ability to do damage late game. While yours is not such a big deal, you might have to wait another 5 seconds before you can get the wards or something. It's not a huge deal.
But I think that's pretty much it. I think that covers most of the things that you'd want to do as a support. And when you don't know what you should be doing, we just gave you a whole little list of things you can do as a support.
Oh yeah, definitely. So at this point, there's no excuse. We all have to be really good at supports now. Chip, did you have anything to add?
Yep.
I know you said you wanted to talk after.
No,
go everything?
We pretty much, we went over everything.
All right, cool.
Yeah, everything's covered.
Supports, you're the real MVP.
Agreed. I totally agree.
Hell yeah. Supports win games.
They do.
Yes.
That's usually the biggest difference sometimes. You're like, oh, I had all these hard carries, we had all this damage potential, and guess what? They have a good support in their team, and you're not going to fucking win. Doesn't matter.
Very deceiving, but it makes a big difference.
I think they need to definitely do something about that, though. They need to have some kind of system where they can show... I saw one where like it showed how many wards you bought and how many things were thanks to like your vision or something. It was like a fake mock-up thing, but I thought that was really cool. I think they should add something like that hopefully will get supports more in the game, so more people play them. Yeah, more recognition, because it does suck. I mean, no matter how much fun I have as a support with like treeing and stuff, it kind of does suck at the end where your carry's like 30 and like 2 and you're like 1 and 3 and like you don't feel like you did anything.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good, but as long as if you have your assists up, it should be fine.
Exactly. And it's like at the end of the day, you still won the game.
That's not the case sometimes, so.
So that was the discussion of the week. Thank you again, P Frog. Thank you very much for that submittal. Hopefully you liked that answer. Hopefully that helped you out a little bit. Again, we're learning along with you guys too. A lot of you listening probably have more hours than us. So take everything we say with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But we'll do our best, and we don't want to give you false information if we can avoid it. But we definitely appreciate the submittals for comments and stuff. We're definitely looking for some more because, again, this is going to be a podcast for you guys. Of course, we're learning as well. But if you can ask us a question so we can answer a question directly for you as well as learn something, that's great. We're going to be trying out, I think, a new section tonight if we want to. Vienna.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Yeah, it's only
Linsky's lore link.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
pretty
a beautiful
much
intro.
it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Recorded live.
All right. So, today's lore link is Sven, the Rogue Knight. And the lore behind him is that Sven is the bastard son of a Vigil Knight born of a pallid Meridinth. I do not know if that is how you pronounce it, but whatever, we'll go with it. Meridinth. And was raised in Shadeshore ruins. With his father being executed for violating the Vigil Codex and his mother shunned by her wild race, Sven believed that honor is to be found in no social order, but only in himself. After tending his mother through a lingering death, he offered himself as a novice to the Vigil Knights, never revealing his identity. For 13 years, he studied in his father's school, mastering the rigid code that declared his existence an abomination. Then, on the day that he should have been in his inswearing, he seized the outcast blade, shattered the sacred helm, and burned the codex in the Vigil's holy flame. He strode from Vigil Keep, forever solitary, following his private code to the last strict rune. Still a knight, yes, but a rogue knight. He answers only to himself. So, his lore actually, it kind of explains, I don't know, a little bit about why you don't really see any other characters specifically like Sven. He kind of had a rough childhood, honestly. I mean,
I feel bad now.
He's kind of like, a mixed race. His dad got killed by his own people
His mother died.
Yeah, for
he's young.
being loving his whatever his love was, and his mother died after all of this too. So now he's like not he's orphaned.
He's a lone wolf.
He is a lone wolf. He is now orphaned and decided that he was going to infiltrate the knights that essentially killed his family and making him believe that he should never even been in existence. He's got a lot of baggage, honestly.
I
Yeah.
like him.
I wouldn't date him, honestly. I mean, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, that is a lot of work. But you can definitely see that rage where you can see why it unlocks now. Some of
That's
his
why he
abilities
turns
to
red.
make.
Yep.
Yeah, see? Makes perfect sense.
Makes sense.
And I think that's cool
Red
about it.
with rage.
Red with rage, and it makes perfect sense, everything. And I think I like doing these because it'll help explain us the backstory of the characters a little bit more, because I never really read these the lore things while I'm in game, so I think it's really cool to kind of get a background of the characters.
And honestly, I think you would respect the characters more, and I don't know, relate to them more.
I know there's some cool, interesting stuff, and I think if we find little stuff, I don't think there's anything special with Sven, but there's just like little things like whoever's related to whoever, or like we were talking about, Oracle or Wraith Knight has a crush on Oracle, and little stuff like that. I think would be really cool to go over in this section as well.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of random in-game relationships that aren't really apparent when you first play. But if you ever notice, if you're playing a couple of characters, sometimes you'll hear the characters actually talk to each other and give each other little quips.
Yep.
Or if you're playing against a rival, like one of the easiest ones to think of is Kunkka and Tidehunter.
Yep.
Right there, they
just have little comments to each other. I think that's really cool. That's one of my favorite things about Dota 2 is those little things. They always make me laugh. It's just always something there. And every time I play a character, I hear like new stuff. Well, not every time, but it depends on the meetups. They have so many different comments for like individual characters. It's crazy. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I think one of the first ones I ever noticed was I think when we first started was Dro Ranger and Wind Ranger when they lane together. You'll always hear Wind Ranger say to Dro, "Why so blue, Ranger?"
That's
And
Yeah.
of course she's all blue. So I always thought that was really cool. And I was like, guys, like I remember even saying like, guys, did you hear that?
Yep.
It was so random.
There's so many things like that too. I think it's awesome. Sven, I don't think I mean, I'm sure he has some kind of special ones. I just don't know of them right now because I don't play him enough.
So may I quote what Sven usually says in Sven's voice?
If you want.
May my enemies share the fate of the shattered helm.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Perfect.
Thank you. I practiced without push to talk.
He's just sitting there in the room by himself.
In the other room?
Yeah. I heard it like 3 times. I'm like, oh, I definitely could do that.
Perfect. So I like that section. I think we'll keep that in.
Yeah, I like that. I really enjoyed that. Thank you, Leanna.
Thank you,
You are
Leeskies.
welcome.
I mean, Leeskies.
Oh yeah.
Leeskies lore link. If you guys have ideas for sections, I think we're maybe talking with Chip about perhaps, depending on how long these go on, maybe doing it like every other week or something. We'll kind of do a different kind of thing. But again, this podcast is still new. We're episode 7. This podcast is made for you guys. If you don't like a section, if we get a lot of reviews, like I really hate this stupid weekly Euro thing, we'll stop doing it.
Well, we're still gonna do them.
No, fuck you guys. We're doing this for us, not for you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But no,
All
just
5
definitely let us
million
know.
of you.
So, other than that, I think that was kind of everything. You guys good? Any other last words before I start saying the websites and all that kind of cool stuff?
I think I'm pretty satisfied. How
Pretty
about
satisfied.
everybody?
I'm glad I get you satisfied.
I just want to play a game.
Me too. So anyway,
Yeah.
thank you everyone for listening. We hope you enjoy our podcast, and we'd love to continue doing them. To show us some support, feel free to leave a review on our iTunes page. Follow us on Twitch or on Twitter. We can be found at WeSuckAtDota on Twitter, or you can head over to our website, WeSuckAtDota.com. That has all the links to the podcast, to the Twitch, our YouTube page, which I'm going to be putting this Twitch video up on. So definitely, I think the biggest thing you can do with us right now is go onto our Steam community page, which is also a link on our website. Leave a comment there, leave a review, leave suggestions for next week's episode. We'll definitely take that into account. And if you send it in now in the next few days, that will give us time. We'll be able to do it next week, because if you send it the day before, I do like some preparation time for me just to do some research on it beforehand. But everything should be right there. Or the other big thing, leave us a review on iTunes. I love seeing new reviews on iTunes. That makes me so happy. We have 3 5-star reviews right now, which is awesome. And that will definitely help our rankings up on iTunes so we can get up there on that front page. And we definitely appreciate that.
We are so proud of it.
Oh my God, we are so proud of it. You have no idea. We hit 1,600 total views this week, guys. 1,666,
Wow.
I think, was actually our last one.
Wow.
Wait, wait, 666?
Oh, well, it's more than that now because I listened to it a couple more times, so we're at like 1668 now. But our last episode had the most views at like 370 something already, so that's awesome. I can't believe there's almost, well, a lot of them are probably us, but there's almost 400 listens on that, which I think is amazing. More than I thought we'd ever get. But
We love you guys.
yep. So we'll see you guys next week. We don't know who we're doing yet, so it's a surprise. We have no idea.
What we doing?
Yeah, we have no idea what we're doing right now, so definitely just give us some information. Please help us. We're drowning. We need help.
We don't know who to do.
We don't know who to do.
Goodbye to all.
But PJ is going to be playing Sven. Watch the Twitch stream.
Wait, whoa. What
Watch
hell
the
are you
strip
doing on
tease
Twitch?
on Twitch. Live.
Strip poker.
Live now. And again, next week, hopefully, we'll get our technical issues sorted out so we can start at 9 o'clock. We're trying to get on a schedule here so that so it's consistent, so you guys know when you can come in here and, give us a watch. So thank you all for listening. See you guys next week. Good night.
Peace.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
And stop. 1 hour, 26